You gonna introduce Big Daddy Kane?
Listen, I told the people, you know, that I did the segue. I really did.
I saw you.
And ladies, listen. It's always good. It's always good when it's good. You know what I'm saying? But I would let my husband do the rest of this introduction so that we can have our next guest. Go ahead, baby.
When you talk about legends of hip hop, you talk about this gentleman.
Indeed.
When you talk about icons in the music industry, you talk about this gentleman.
Yep.
When you talk about bars, you talk
Bars.
about this gentleman. When you talk about machismo, you talk about this gentleman. When you talk about a gentleman, you talk about this gentleman. When you talk about records sold and hits made, you talk about this gentleman. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, what we want to bring to you is one of the founding fathers, in my opinion, of this great thing that we call hip-hop music. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, bringing to you Big Daddy Kane. BDK is here.
Come on, have a seat with us.
Let's talk to you for a few. They
Lord,
said the chocolate
thank
drop.
They done got me a new chair to figure out how to get in this thing.
Is he smelling good?
Now, how you smell this man from all the way out there? I'm sorry, I revved him up. It's my fault. I did it. Well, you did it, but I helped. At least on tonight, I did. Welcome. We've been really looking forward to having you here. Really, when we first started making our first list of guests that we wanted on this show, you were most definitely in that first list, absolutely. This is a long time coming. Welcome to Philly. Welcome to Kindred Presents.
Glad to be here.
Yes, indeed.
I want to take it back to the very beginning. Biz Markie had a song called The Vapors. And in the song, The Vapors, he talks about how we have come to love Big Daddy Kane, but back in the day, he was nothing like this. He wore his pants hanging down, tilted to the side, his Kango tilted to the side. Tell us about that guy.
Biz already told you, man.
I mean, give us a little bit more of why he felt the need to describe you in that way once we had already loved you.
No, me and Biz met when I was in high school, and he used to come and hang out with me in my high school and take me to do a lot of concerts and stuff. So he knew what I was doing and who I was hanging around and what was going on. But one of the first things he said to me was, "Yo, if you stick with me and just trust me, I promise you I'm gonna get you a record deal." And he was a man of his word. As soon as he got on, he brought me in to write some stuff for him, and then he got me my record deal.
So, I mean, you mentioned something that's kind of interesting right there. Ghostwriting. Ghostwriting was going on all the way back then, and that's become a more popular thing now. So some of the hits that we come to love and enjoy by other MCs, you actually had a hand in writing those as well.
Yeah, some. Yeah.
Why are you so humble with it?
I beg your pardon?
I said, why are you so humble with it?
Oh, it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't, But that brother brought me into the industry. It's just, Biz always had a vision, and he would come and paint a picture for me. Like he might say, "Yo, I want to do a song called Nobody Beats the Biz," like using the Nobody Beats the Wiz slogan. But I want to do this flow where it's like a zucka 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 zin. And do what I do. I remember when he came to me and asked me, told me he wanted to make a song called Pickin' Boogers. I was like, I don't know why the hell you would want to do that.
You didn't help with that one, did you?
Huh?
Did you help with that one?
Nah, I wrote it. He said, just write some stories about picking boogers. I don't care. But somewhere in there, just say, "Hey, Ma, what's for dinner? Go up your nose and pick a winner." Now, that was his.
It was pretty memorable. That was pretty memorable. All right, Biz, for that line. Wow.
A lot of people credit you for bringing in the era of the lyricist. lyricist versus, I suppose, the rapper. I mean, for you, what defines the lyricist as opposed to the rapper?
Well, I mean, a lyricist is like, that's that person that really takes the time of what he's writing, because it's like when you hear a song, it's so easy, to get caught up with just the beat. It's so easy to focus on the hook, because the hook is normally something real simple, And I tell a lot of young MCs all the time, if you make a song and they say, yo, you heard that new such and such song? Yo, it's crazy. Kanye did the beat. Then you just blew Kanye up. But if they say, yo, you heard such and such new song? Yo, son said, and they spitting your bars, then yeah, now you stood out. You're the star,
I think that the challenge right now is fitting a lot of lyrical content into the music, because everything has gotten very simplified. Obviously, we always enjoy when you're going to bring new music and hearing the lyricists who we love continue to put out music. But if you had to put out a record right now which would, essentially be in competition with, or at the very least being sold and listened to on the same platforms as this very pared down version of what you would typically be making, how would you approach that? Is that something that you would try to do as well, or would you just be bringing?
I can do it, but I don't like doing it. Like in the past few years, I did something with Music Soul Child and Bootsy Collins. I did something with Joel Ortiz, and I felt at home because they wanted me to do what I do. Yeah. But I've had people ask me to do some of the the more trap sound and stuff, and I think I've literally rewritten a rhyme 4 times, trying my hardest to dumb it down, and it's just not an easy thing to do. I'm just not comfortable writing that way, I mean, I can do it, but
I say stick with what you love and what you know and what's
hell
good
yeah,
for
that's
you.
what I'm gonna do. I was doing that for someone else.
All right.
Yeah.
But going back to the very beginning of your career, there really is, like I said, you ushered in this kind of era. You were part of ushering into a new era. Before you, there really isn't anything. They always say a legend is defined by the fact that if you look before that person and they don't exist, they are the legend, because they come and they set the precedent. So I'm curious to know, musically, who really influenced you, and how did you get your lyrical style?
Well, lyrically, I would say Grandmaster Caz from the Cold Crush Brothers.
You show him a lot of love.
Yeah. And Smokey Robinson. I always thought that Smokey had an incredible pen game. And, it's just a unique way of painting a picture. So lyrically, yeah, I would say those 2 guys. But I mean, other influences were like, Muhammad Ali, James Brown, Marvin Gaye. Yeah.
People always compare you to Rakim, and, you guys kind of go hand in hand on people's top 5 lists, especially people who are from a certain era or a certain generation. And I know that there's this big thing right now with battling, artists battling, and the pay-per-view thing. And I've seen in social media this thing where people wanted you to battle Rakim for $500,000. Is that something that you're familiar with? Well, I'm sure you're familiar with it, but is that something that you're really interested in, or?
Well, no, that's not true. Back in the 80s, they had offered us $75,000 to battle. That was what the offer was back in the 80s.
Well,
but
it's almost 2020 now, though.
But no, this was back in the 80s. This is like 89 when that happened. But it never came about. Now with this $500,000, that was something from Vlad TV when they asked me, would I battle Rakim? And I was like, man, we in our 50s. Nobody even think about that no more, man.
Did y'all ever battle, though?
No. And he said, so if I was able to get $500,000, would you battle? Like, shit, I'll battle you for that. 500 stacks, I mean, that's a no-brainer. But I mean, like I said, you know, we're in our 50s, man. We grown men. Ain't nobody thinking about that no more. You know?
And y'all have definitely set a path for yourselves. Instead of writing a whole bunch of questions, I had wrote a lot of keywords of things and situations that I kind of really wanted to touch on if I could, and there's a few of them. Number one, Rudy Ray Moore. You did a record with Rudy Ray Moore, and of course he just came out with his film, Dolomite, that Eddie Murphy and them is in. I wondered how that came about, and if you could give us a little insight into working with Rudy Ray Moore.
This may be something surprising to a lot of y'all, but me and Eric B actually are very, really tight, So that was one of the other reasons why I would, never do that to Rod, because I mean that's Eric is my man.
Y'all peeped. I peeped.
That's.
We all peeped.
Huh? What I missed?
But we gonna let you keep going.
What did I miss?
You ain't do nothing. Just go ahead.
But anyway, Eric is my man. And, Eric, he called me and said, yo, I got Dolomite for our ghetto video. I'm going to have him in our ghetto video. And I'm like, yeah, right.
Ghetto! You remember that part?
Yeah.
Kim.
So he was like, nah, I'm dead serious. So I was like, when? I was like, yo, I want in. I want to do a song with him. So me and Eric worked it out where I think he paid for the flight and I paid for the hotel or something like that. And that morning he went and did the video with Eric and Ra. And then after he was through, he came to the studio and recorded the song with me. And just like, yeah, we just going to play this here track and just, just talk junk back and forth to each other. Because, he just basically used a lot of stuff that he had done on previous albums in the 70s. Yeah.
Just made a hodgepodge of a bunch of different stuff that he did.
Yeah. But it came out amazing, man.
I believe it.
Because people have now, pinned him, obviously, the godfather of rap, or a person that really influenced a lot of the early hip hop. So it's really good to see him do a record with you because, to fuse that kind of generational thing together. If you wanted to do something like that, at this point, you said we in our 50s, man, we grown. Who would you like to do a collab like that with? Because certainly that
Well, collab and a battle is two different things.
Okay.
So, be more specific. What you mean?
I'm going to go with collab because we discussed No. Who would you like to battle of the children you've taught?
Nah,
Because in that
honestly,
situation-
I've told this story to several people. Rakim, I think, is one of the greatest MCs ever, such an amazing lyricist, that I have so much respect for. But I just never really looked at him as a battle rapper. But KRS-One?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Now, that's a battle MC. Back then, if I had to battle someone, that's who I would have loved to battle.
Well, there is also a rec that you, and Kumo D has been here, and we talked about it, that you approached him when you were very young to try to battle him.
Oh, Mo D, yeah. This is 9th grade. I was, coming from school. I used to go to Park West High School in Manhattan, and I'm coming from school, and they was like, yo, that's Kumo D. Ask him for a battle. You scared. They put the peer pressure on me. So I went, and I'm like, hey, yo, Mo D, what's up with that battle? He turned around, what? I was like, yeah, what's up with that battle? He said, you don't want it, shorty.
He said that. He told
you don't want it, shorty.
You don't want it, shorty.
Yeah. It was cool. Yeah.
You're really well known for the way that you appeal to, all the fellas want to be you, all the ladies want to be with you, is that kind of vibe. And you've talked about all kinds of subject matters, but you've also talked about some socially conscious things as well. And you said some time ago that it's something that doesn't get as much attention, but mostly because you don't tend to stick to one particular kind of, subject matter. Nowadays, do you wish that you had maybe focused a little bit more on that, specifically since nowadays we look to so much of the hip hop community to speak on, some of the things that are happening in this day and age? Do you wish you had kind of stuck to that a little more?
No, because I've always done very conscious things, So in my music as a whole, there was always something positive. There was something there for everyone, but there was always something there positive for the conscious-minded and for those that came there for sex appeal, for lyrics or whatever. There was something conscious there for them to take home as well, you see?
And now we have a lot of veteran rappers, a lot of veteran hip-hop artists who are, taking their gander at politics. Scarface is now currently running for city council and doing a lot of work within politics. You got Killer Mike, who's not a veteran per se, but has made himself very seen in the world of politics. Is that something that you might be interested in getting a little bit more involved in, or are you doing things that we're just not aware of?
I don't do too good in debates. Speaking engagements, yes. Speaking engagements, yes. I'd be willing to do that a whole lot.
Of course, like she said, the ladies love you, but you're a married man and you have a family, and I want to know how that part of your life is at this time.
Oh, I just got off the phone with my 6-year-old. Yeah, I just got off the phone with him. He wanted to make sure that I'm gonna be there waiting for him, tomorrow at the bus stop. So yeah.
Tell us,
that's
Daddy
my life.
Kane.
Tell us about the woman that snagged you, because she's a
That's
lovely.
more what we was
she's
getting
a
to,
right.
by the
No,
way.
she's a lovely lady, and we had an opportunity to talk, and she's really a really sweet person from what I can gather, and also too, she's a woman after my own heart because she turned you on to Kindred the family. So she is actually she's my homegirl now. Clap, clap, clap. So tell us about the woman who snagged the chocolate drop.
And that's a whole funny story too, about child music. She's a sweetheart, very soft spoken, and support what I do. She's a beautiful young lady. I met her back in '01, and we got married in 2010. Next year will be 10 years.
How did you propose?
Huh?
How did you propose?
Mr. Romantic, come on, let's go.
We was on the Tom Joyner cruise, and she ordered dessert, and the waiter he brought the ring out in her dessert tray. So when she pulled the lid off, the ring was there.
That is romantic and black all at the same time. That's some of the blackest shit I ever heard. Excuse me. We was on the Tom Joyner cruise. I love that story.
Shout out to Tom
I do.
Joyner!
I love that story. So recently, Pharrell got into this kind of crap storm of controversy about posing on the cover of a magazine, and what people, y'all, come on now, who in a magazine supposedly in a dress, looked like a cape or whatever to me, I don't know, but I thought about you because you got a lot of backlash for just stretching your wings and doing something different when you posed for Playgirl. And then when you
Madonna's
also
book too.
and then also for Madonna's book, and it touched on something in hip hop that people rarely talk about. Is really just about manhood, what represents masculinity, how far can rappers go when they want to be creative or do something different. Do you have any thoughts about that incident, or just how we need to view our black male artists and giving them room to grow?
Well, I mean, I didn't pose in no dress.
No.
I was just nude, and
He took.
I mean to keep it a buck.
I didn't have a dress
I'm
on.
just saying, to keep it a buck, when you having sex, that's how you are.
Yes.
You knew.
This is true.
Yeah.
I don't have any reason whatsoever to put a dress on, so that's not my thing.
No, I wasn't.
She was trying to make the
Just
comparison.
speaking for me,
right.
you know.
No.
That's not my thing,
It's no,
you know.
no offense. I certainly wasn't trying to say that it was the same actual thing, but I do know that you did something that you felt
The chocolate drop out to get you.
you wanted to do, and some folks
yeah.
had an issue with that. So I guess that's really where I was coming from with it. It's just, you know.
Well, I mean, you know, come on, the world we live in, people gonna have an issue with every single thing you do. You know, I mean, you know, the way I live my life, I feel like I am held accountable for my ways and actions, and I'm gonna be either penalized or rewarded for what I do. But I leave that in the law's hand. I don't care what nobody else think, you know?
Wonderful. You know, I wanted to take it back to in the end of the song, Set It Off, you shout out the entire hood. I mean, it might be like 32 bars of shouting out everybody. How are those people doing? Chile,
Man, honestly, about 80.
Melquan and Shabazz,
About 80.
all of them.
I talked to Melquan today.
See?
Yeah, I talked to Melquan today. Yeah, but
That's
about
crazy.
80% of them, I don't even hear from anymore, man. You know, just time just separated us.
I mean, that was like so monumental. I mean, I never seen no shit like that. I mean, it's just like half of the song is just giving love to everybody who
I had
from
to
the
bring
hood.
the hood with me, man. I
You
had to
did,
bring them,
brother.
introduce them to the world, man. I had a
did.
platform. I had to introduce my people to the world, man.
You did, and we still know them today because you introduced them to us.
And we looking at 30 years, well, plus years a bit of your career in hip hop. What do you think is the key to having longevity in this particular business?
I think one of the main things is originality. You know, a lot of people that latch on to trends, it's like you're falling into a pot of a whole bunch of the same thing. So when that trend is gone, you're gone. You know, I think that original artist is that person that in my day made someone of all the other talent. This is who picture I want hanging over on my bed. This is who photo I want inside my notebook. Or nowadays, this is who photo I want to be my screensaver on my laptop. Or, you know what? And it's like that comes from something original that you did or said that touched their heart. You know.
If there was a time capsule all about you, and you could put, let's say, just 3 things in it that would let people know who you were, and you couldn't put your music in there, what would those 3 things be?
Oh, that's a tough question. I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't put my music. 3 things I could put in there. I don't know. I guess one I would probably put in there. I don't know. Some stock tips for the future or something. You know. I don't know. I don't know though, man.
I asked the question because I think, you know, with artists, we get so attached to the music, so attached to the art that they make, that maybe we don't know things about them that are really, you know, who they are on the inside, things that interest them, things that, you know, make them who they are, that things that make you Antonio and not Big Daddy Kane. And so I was interested in knowing those things because, you know, as artists, we're interested in, as fans, we're interested in those things. But, you know, if you don't know, that's cool. If you don't want,
I think they're probably 2 of the same.
I did.
They're probably 2 of the same, Kane and Antonio. I think they pretty much do the same.
Not a lot of gray area, no problem. Let's talk about, before we get out of here, let's talk about Philadelphia. And you've been coming to Philadelphia for over 30 years. Some of the people who are very instrumental in playing the music that we've all come to love and know are here as well. I know you have relationships with people like Charlie Mack and, of course, Will Smith and all of these guys, and go back to the After Midnight and Gotham and all of that. Can you tell us about your first time coming to Philadelphia?
this lady right here.
Lady B.
Stand up, B. That's how I was introduced to Philadelphia. When I was DJing for Roxanne Shante, And I had the Just Rhyming with Biz single that wasn't even out. She was nice enough to play it back then, before it was even out. And ever since then, she's always supported my career with every single song I came out. You know, she's always there. Love you too, B.
We had the honor of doing a show with you out in Oakland, and you went out on stage and you just rocked the crowd. Your energy level is still top notch. You put on a hell of a show. I just want to know, how do you keep up with your health? How you keeping yourself going? How do you keep that energy up at that level? How do you do that full split? That part. For those of you who didn't hear at home, Lady B said, how do you do that full split?
I just working out, well, not really, I don't really work out too heavy, just really like treadmill most of the time, but just trying to stay well rested before I go on stage doing stretches, and then we get through it.
Well, the stretches is working. You've been tearing up the stage. My husband and I was going off on the sideline.
Yes,
you
sir.
really, really do what you do in the best way possible. And we're really looking forward to hearing you perform tonight, if you would, for us. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yes,
We
indeed.
appreciate you, brother. We love you. We respect you. God bless you. Continued success in this journey. You know what I mean? You're a legend.
Thank you.
A living legend, brother. Take all these flowers. We appreciate you. We respect you.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
God bless
indeed.
you, man.
Thank you both.
We're so
Dan, come on
grateful.
back out and join us for Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, we like to invite the band back out and come and do this thing. Philly, one more time, because y'all know what time it is. We want y'all to give a real round of applause for our last guest of the night.
The man that gets the
legendary,
job done.
The
Ladies and
legendary
gentlemen, Big Daddy Kane.
Y'all ready? It's on you, baby. Here I am, R-A-W, a terrorist, here to bring trouble to phony MCs. I move on and seize, I just conquer, stop another rapper with ease. Cause I'm at my apex and others are below, nothing but a milliliter. I'm a kilo, second to none, making MCs run, so don't try to step to me, cause I ain't the one. I believe rappers just like Tylenol, and they know it, so I don't see why you all tried to front, perpetrating a stunt, when you know that I smoke you up like a blunt, genuine like Gucci, raw like sushi. The stage of rage is what rap did to me, to make me want to create chaos and mayhem, cold rock party until the AM. I make a muscle, grab the mic and hustle, while you stand days at a maze. I bust a little rhyme with authority, superiority, and captivate the whole crowd's majority. Rhymes like you, definitely immune, better than Dynasty or Hill Street Blues. I'm sure to score and door for more without a floor, cause I get raw. All right, y'all, if y'all really love hip hop, let me hear you say yeah. Say hell yeah. Say oh yeah. Oh yeah. Keep it right there. Hold on. I give a speech like a reverend. Rappers start severing. In my lifetime, believe I've never been beaten or eaten and just took it out. Come to think about it, I keep the seats looking out. Real nervous when I'm at your service. So give me that title, boy. You don't deserve this. I work like a slave to become a master. When I say a rhyme, you know that it has to be perfectly fitted. Cause I'm committed to entertainer and trainer and Kane to get with it. I go and flow and grow to let you know I damage you. I'm not an amateur, but a professional, a questioner without doubt, superb. So full of action, my name should be a verb. My voice will flow on every note. When I clear my throat, that's all she wrote. The minute that the Kane starts to go on, believe it's gonna be smooth sailing, so on. As I put other rappers out of their misery, get them in a battle and make them all history. Ruling and schooling, MCs that I really watch them all take a fall. As I sit back cooling on my throne with the bronze microphone. Yo, God is a child that can hold its own. I can raw. Come on, everybody in the place, come on. Let me hear you say hola, hola, hola. Say hola, hola, hola. Say yeah. Come on, give it. Say what? say hip, you say hop. Hip, hip. When I say don't, you say stop. Don't say yeah. Say hell yeah. Keep it right there. Uh-huh. Say what? You got to dig a little deeper than that. Dig a little deeper than that. Uh-huh. 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 Hold on. All right, y'all got me working up a sweat out here. Happy birthday, Pat. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's your word, that's right. Now, who can say that you performing and Stevie Wonder just come and get on stage? Was that crazy? Yeah, that was crazy. With a do-rag, too. Can't leave out the do-rag. He came in the hood, gangster. Shout out Stevie Wonder. All right, we're gonna do one more. Y'all ladies ready? All right. Oh yeah, we're gonna try it too. Well, I'll follow your lead. Let's go. Hey, well, excuse me, take a few minutes to mellow out. Big Daddy Kane is on the mic, and I'ma tell about a minimum length of rhymes for strength and power. So listen to the man up the hour. Flow and go to a slow tempo where you know. Sing, hold, swing, low, then yo, the show will go on. So I perform, transforming on stage like a Decepticon. But I'm not animated like a cartoon or for real. Shooting lyrics like a harpoon. Across the crowd, the listeners and spectators. So let's groove with the smooth operator. Come on. Hey, y'all, cause I'm so smooth. Cause I'm so smooth. Uh-huh. Let me have it. The B-I-G-D-A-double-D-Y-K-A-N-E. I'm good and plenty. Serving many in competition. Wishing for an expedition. I'm straight up dissing and dismissing. Listen, rappers act so wild. Love the profile. Frontin' hard, but they got no style. I give nightmares to those who compete. Freddy Krueger walking on Kane Street, confusing, losing, abusing, bruising, crews who choose to use my name on pay dues. Destruction from the exterminator, but in the calm manner, cause I'm a smooth operator. Put one finger up in the air. Get one finger up in the air. Put your ones up. Come on, hit. Put your ones up. Put your ones up. Stay with me, y'all. The girls step up to this. One simple kiss. And it's over, miss. So the nice dream is eyes the price seem, girlfriend. You've been scooped like ice cream. So let's swing or fling or gather ring, try to cling. Cause cause it's a big daddy thing. And I'm loving the right words, bars, so let's play Marvin Gaye and let's get it on. Look, I make it real good like Dr. Feel Good to make sure that my point is understood. When it comes to this, there's none greater. Sincerely yours, the smooth operator. How many smooth operators out there? I said, how many smooth operators is out there? So all my smooth operators, help me out one time and just repeat after me. Let me hear you go. Say what? One more time it go. Talk to me. Oh yeah, Lady B, I know you a smooth operator. Let me get down here. Come on, do it for me, baby. Come on, B. All right. Y'all want the birthday girl in it, right? Let me get down right over here. Let me get over here. Hey, girl. Patty, patty. All right, y'all. We got other smooth operators out here. Huh? How y'all doing? That's you, baby? You gonna do it for me? Come on, one time. Forget the phone. Talk to me. That's right. Come on, somebody gotta represent for the fellas, man. Come on, man. Somebody gotta rep for the fellas. It's simple. It's just talk to me, brother. Show you right. Any smooth operators over here? Hey, y'all. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Real simple. Talk to me. Don't hurt nobody. I'm gonna go this way. All right, y'all. I want to see if we may happen to have some smooth operators up here on the stage with me. So, if I was to ask you to be a smooth operator, just make it go. Come on. I don't think he's ready yet. Y'all gotta give him some incentive. Say blow, blow. Just showing off now. Think we might have some over here? Oh, look at y'all. They so beautiful too. I got to see. Look here. Some of the best women, I get with them. None left a lot, only test driven. Old days couldn't get their phone straight, but now I found a soulmate. So sing it for me.
Something's got me so excited, baby. A feeling I've been way holding back so long. You got me shook up, shook down, shook out on your loving. And boy, I've been waiting over you all night long. Give it to you, give it to you, give it to you. Long, long.
Well, I done gave it to you, gave it to you, gave it to you. Good night.